Have you ever had a launch where you know that everything is done? The landing page looks amazing. The marketing emails are done and scheduled. The social media looks great. You've even collaborated with people to talk to their audience, and yet it still feels difficult. It still feels like nothing is moving the needle. You might even experience this in your day-to-day life. But when it comes to your business and your launches, it's not always about the strategy. Because like I said, you've ticked all those boxes, you're doing all the things. It's more likely that it's an energy thing. You see, when your energy is in flow, people will find you. You're like a magnet. Those people will come to you. The opportunities will pop up and the process feels smooth. But when your energy is in one of the other two states, it's going to feel difficult and you're going to be experiencing dissonance. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. I want to share with you some of the tools that I use to get myself into energetic alignment with launches, with my business, and actually with anything in life. And I want you to recognize the 3 states of flow so that if you're feeling the dissonance or that things are just not happening in the way they should be happening, that you can check in and see where you're at with these. So let's think about energetic alignment. What is it? It's when what you're doing, how you're doing it, and why you're doing it are all moving in the same direction. I like to use the analogy of a tap. Imagine the tap is fully open and the water is flowing freely from the tap into your basin. That is when your energy is in flow. Nothing is stopping it. Everything just makes sense. You're thinking consciously and subconsciously, I believe in this. I want to show up for people. This launch feels amazing. You've got no niggles happening in your energetic field. And I'm not talking about being high vibe all the time. I'm talking about the inner you and the outer you telling the same story. You're grounded, you're excited, and you're taking aligned action that actually feels good. When you're in energetic alignment, you will speak with more confidence, you will make clearer decisions, and those clients that you've been wanting to attract are going to come to you instead of you chasing them. When you're out of alignment, which I call dissonance, that's when everything feels harder. Those clients feel like they're actually going to your competitors rather than coming towards you. You get weird resistances popping up. Maybe it might be that you're procrastinating, or you don't want to press send on the email that you've written. Something's just not quite right. So go back to the tap analogy. Remember, the tap is open when you're in flow and the water is flowing into your basin. That's the state that you want your energy to be in. Receptive, open, receiving. However, there's 2 other states that your energy might be in, and they are the ones that might make you feel dissonant to your business, to your launch. The first one is when that tap is open and the water is just dripping out. So you've turned it on fully, but still there's only a dribble coming out. This is the resistance stage. Imagine in a river, if the river is flowing freely, that is how we want our energy to be. But instead, this time, there's rocks, there's boulders in the way, so the water can't run freely, but it can still get there, but it's harder. This is the, you've got resistant energy. Now, this could manifest as procrastination. You know, when you get up in the morning, you think, I know that I've got to go and write my marketing plan for this amazing launch. But actually, instead of doing that, you go and put the washing on, you go and clean the skirting boards. You're doing everything you can to avoid doing the thing that you should be doing, but you don't really know why. You're distracting yourself from doing the work instead of doing the aligned actions. You're busying yourself rather than sitting down and focusing. Now, sometimes we don't know why we're doing that, but if you're in that state, you need to dig a little bit deeper and realize and acknowledge what it is that's holding you back. Resistance will often come from fears. And these fears are things that we've carried from childhood, that we've inherited from past generations, from our parents, our grandparents. They can also come from learned experiences as well. So it might be a fear of being judged. Something may have happened to you in the playground when you were at school and children laughed, and now you don't want to be showing up on screen. It might be that you've got a fear of failing, and actually putting yourself into launch mode really triggers that fear. Often these fears are so subconscious that we don't even know that they are active or triggered when we are trying to push ourselves forward. And actually using that word push, if you've got resistance, there is always a push. It feels like you're up against a brick wall sometimes. So that's two states. We've got receptive. That's when our energy is in flow. That tap is open. The water is flowing freely from the tap into the basin. We've got resistant energy where the tap is open, but there's something inside that is blocking, obstructing that water coming out. So it's just coming out as a dribble. And then we've got the third state, which is reversed energy, an energy reversal. And that is where the water's actually going back up the tap. So no water's coming out at all. The energy is completely reversed. If it's a river, it's not flowing towards the sea. It's not even got the boulders. It's actually flowing upstream. Now, again, we carry energy reversals from things that have happened in our lives, in past lives, that we may not even be aware of. The easiest analogy for me to show you how an energy reversal might happen is, imagine that there's a toddler in the kitchen and they go up to a hot cooker and the oven is on and they're about to put their hand on the oven door and the mum goes, "Stop, don't touch that." And the child is shocked. Now the mum has done it with all good intentions because they don't want their child to get hurt. But that child in that instance doesn't know what they've done wrong. And that shock can reverse their energy, and later on in life may have a fear of hot things. Now I know that might seem silly, but in terms of how it creates an energy reversal, it's a good analogy. Roll with me. Reversals can be a little bit more sneaky than the resistance because resistance is easier to spot. Reversals are, you can be taking action, but actually you're undoing your progress instead of moving forward. It might be that you're overcomplicating things, or it might be that you change your messaging halfway through, meaning all the previous work has to be redone, or you launch one thing and then easily get distracted by another thing because you're not fully committed to the launch that you're having, the business that you're trying to launch. You're not fully committed because there's an energy reversal. Now, you can't move from an energy reversal or having an energetic resistance into the receptive state without acknowledging and being aware that you have them in the first place. Now, I'm going to share with you some tools that I use. And please remember, I am an energetic alignment mentor as well as a business coach. So I incorporate this work when I work with clients on a one-to-one basis. So if you are struggling, please do get in touch. Now, the first tool that I'm going to share with you is so super simple, and it is the one that I fall back on most when I know that something is holding me back, when I'm unhappy and I can't put my finger on why. And it's very simply a core values check-in. Now, if you don't know what your core values are, I encourage you to go and have a look at what they might be now. Write down 5 of your core values and why do they matter to you? And the reason they might matter to you comes up when you are experiencing dissonance, because if one of your core values is out of flow with what it is that you are trying to launch, everything is going to feel hard. For me, when one of my core values isn't being met, it manifests in my body. I actually feel very low energetically. I feel heavy, and something weighs on my mind a lot until I can pinpoint exactly what it is and why. So do a core value audit. Look at the tasks in your launch. How do you feel about them? Do they excite you? Are there things in there that actually don't excite you, don't resonate with you, and you need to give them to somebody else to do? That's okay. It's still your launch. When I know I'm out of flow, I do turn to astrology. I have an app on my phone which has my birth chart in it, and it will tell me each day where my energy is based on the planets and the moon and everything to do with me. It tells me where I should be going in life. It's like it's a guide for me. It's not a absolutely this is what's happening. It's more of a gentle guide. I will also turn to angel cards. In fact, I've got I can't tell which I can't do it. Look, some on the shelf behind me, which I've had for years and years and years. And if I'm just feeling a little bit lost, I will pull 3 cards, ask the question, and just see what the angels want to tell me. And again, they don't make the decisions for me. It's just an intuitive guidance if I'm feeling stuck or I'm second guessing myself. Because often if you ask for advice and somebody gives you the advice, instinctively you will know whether it's right for you or not. And that's the way I treat the astrology and the angel cards. If I'm really struggling to focus on a task, and this one might sound a little bit bizarre, I will listen to binaural beats or frequencies, and I pop them in my ears, and it's like a massage for my brain, but it also helps me to focus if I'm sat at the desk and I don't get distracted by all the other things going off in life. And then this one, I have a plethora of essential oils. So if I'm feeling like I need a pick-me-up, I might put some citrus oils in. If I need clarity, I might use some peppermint oils, things like that. Just stimulating all the senses, really. Now, the biggest thing I see in people stopping them from launching isn't not having a strategy or taking action. It's actually that they're waiting until they are ready. There's never a right time. You will never be fully ready. That rarely just happens and appears. If you are in resistance or have an energy reversal, you have to take aligned action to get out of that. Now, that aligned action might be doing the energy work until you are in a flow state. Now, some people ask me, well, I feel in flow on this bit and resistance here and reversal. Yeah, that's absolutely right. You might do. So when you think about your launch, the idea of your launch, you might be in flow with, but there might be different aspects of that launch that you have energy reversals around or resistance around. It's completely possible to have all 3 around the same topic. However, if we're talking about a person, am I in flow with this person? Again, yes, I'm in flow with them, but then when you break it down into different aspects of their personality, you might have resistance against one and reversal against another aspect of their personality. So you can experience resistance and reversals and being in receptive at the same time, but just on different aspects. Does that make sense? Drop me a heart below if that makes sense. So if you are wanting to create more flow, take one aligned action this week. Now, that one aligned action might be sending an email out to your list. It might be creating or getting more clarity around your messaging. Or it could be booking a call with a mentor who can help you. Now, I've shared with you some of the tools that I use to help me get into alignment. I'd love to know what you use, and I'd like for you to take some action this week, whether that's identifying whether you are receptive, open and receiving to what it is that you're launching, whether you're actually in reversal or whether you are experiencing resistance. Whichever one of those you are in, again, let me know. I love learning more about you. And remember your core values. Do a core value check-in, do a core value audit. If you feel that you're in, if you are receptive, you're in flow and open, still know what your core values are. Now, these might be things like transparency. It might be respect, fun, Everybody's are different. There's no right or wrong answer to what your core values are, but they are a really good compass to know if you are experiencing dissonance. If you want to go deeper on your energy resistances or energy reversals, please know that I am there to support you. I'll drop a link in the notes below where you can reach out to me for more support.